One of the first things a business or a program manager is going to want to know in TSANet is how to go in and edit or change that contact document, the document that everyone looks at to see how they're going to engage your company. So what we're going to do in this video is cover that process. It's actually pretty simple. We've created a wizard, and I'm going to walk you through how you would go ahead and change that document. Let me say at the front of this that if you don't have the ability to create new documents, you'll need to contact TSANet to do that. So this is only the process for editing existing documents that are in the system. So in this case, I'm a program manager. I'm going to go ahead and I've logged in. I'm going to click on my admin functions, and it's going to bring me down to the submenu that I can then click and select Contact Documents under Company. Now what it's going to do is it's going to bring up all the contact documents that I have in the system. So this is why we name them, because there could be different documents for different processes, different relationships, different departments, all sorts of different reasons that you would have multiple documents in there, and you need to name them accordingly so you know which document you're going to be working on. So in this case, what we've done is we've got one document that applies to both the premium and the basic TSANet. So I'm going to go ahead and start to view that document. And you'll notice it's going to start up the wizard, and this is simply just the name that I have named that document so I can differentiate it between other documents that I might have in the system. On the right hand side over here is the Special Escalation Managers. This area does two things. One is that there is a process we go through for every 90 days for people to get emails to go in and come in and edit and check these documents. People that are checked as Special Escalation Managers are going to get that email to say, please come in and take a look at that document. The second thing is, if you look at a process document when we're done, at the very bottom of it, it gives the ability for members to give feedback on their experience that they had. And whoever is checked as Special Escalation Manager is going to be one that's also going to get that email with that feedback. So again, what we've done here, this is the very top of the document here, and if I go down towards the bottom, there's a lot of potential escalation managers in this particular company. But I'm going to go ahead, and you'll see I can click on Next, and the wizard's going to take me through. But notice at the very bottom of the document, you see the entire document as it is. So if you were to change things, that's automatically going to take place as you go through the wizard. So I'm going to go ahead and go Next. And now what it's going to do, if I go back up to the top of the document here, it's going to show me hours of support, and then there's my Next button. So if I wanted to change hours of support, I could do that right here. If you want to put in specific hours, we ask that you put those in Greenwich Mean Time, and you can check to see what the time is, current time that it is where you're at, by clicking on this little link right down here. And again, you can see the entire document and any changes that I made right there down below. So I'll go Next. And the next piece is going to take you to the communities or relationships that this particular document applies to. In this case, we've got it set up for basic and premium TSANet. You could obviously have multiple documents for a separate relationship, however you want to set it up. I would strongly recommend that you use the Any Country default as far as locations are concerned. We get into a lot more complex type things when we get into specific countries that this applies to, and as a default, most companies just use Any Country. Same thing for languages. Unless we've got a reason to use a specific language and filter that out, we typically will use all languages as the default. Again, same format. I change anything that I want in here, I click on Next, and the entire document is down below. The next area it's going to take me to is the contract preparations requirements. And again, the area that we're specifically talking to is right here in this Before You Call, the required and optional areas. If I wanted to change something like that, I could do that and say, I want to make customer identifier required, and you'll notice down here now that I have that area, customer identifier required. Again, the wizard, I can go Next. And now it's going to take me to, this is really the meat. This is how I want the company to engage me. And this is split up into several sections, but this is where you're going to put in more explicit directions about how you should be engaged from another company. There's a couple of different ways that you can set this up. First of all, there's 3 different methods that you can select. There's a primary, a secondary, and a third, and you don't have to use all of them by any means. And then within that, you can select either a contact process or place a call, send an email, click to chat, log a case, whatever you would like to have in there. And then if none of those categories fit, then you can actually use this optional label here, and it will show up as, in this case, knowledge base as opposed to log a case. And then this is really just a free-form text area that I put in right down here that is going to tell or direct the member on what it is that they need to do to either engage or set up, again, in this case, get to a knowledge base. If it's a very set of long instructions, you can actually create a little accordion link that they click on a link for additional instructions, and you can put that in down here. Again, you've got a second way of doing it, so if you've got more than one method for the company to engage you, you can go ahead and select that as well. And then again, there's also a third method down here as well. In this case, I didn't select a third one, the alternate one, so it's only going to show those 2. And then again, I've got the entire document down here that you'll be able to see before it's published out to the website. I'll go ahead and click Next. This is going to be the special escalation instructions. So at the bottom of every document, what we do is request that our members post an escalation. So if for some reason the previous content didn't work and you need to post an escalation process and procedure, we want you to do that for every process document or every contact document that's in the system. And typically we would like to have some people named there. Sometimes that can't be the case. It has to be a duty manager, but we would like to get some people named in there, so I would advise you to go ahead and try to do that the best you can. And again, same wizard format here, except you'll notice what we've done here, we've reached the end. So if I want to publish this document, I go ahead and just click on Save, and that's going to publish the document out to the system. So if you've been around TSANet long enough, you'd know that we had this approval queue process. We've abandoned that approval queue, and the document is actually going to be posted automatically into the system. That's all there is to it. Pretty simple process once you get into it, and certainly a lot of flexibility. Thanks for watching this video.